It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and today is day 3 in the restoration in Pacific Beach. The plants are gone. Thank you guys all so much for coming by, picking them up, giving them good homes, and keeping them out of the landfill. Yay! So today I went to Waterwise Botanicals and I purchased some really cool collectible things for Christine, as well as some 1-gallon tapestry plants. Back 4 years ago, this was a really beautiful, intricate tapestry, and it really lost its luster over the years. So basically all I did was yank out, some blue elf. They were all clustered right up in here. I've moved a few of them around for height, and now I'm taking my plants that I got at Waterwise today, and I'm going to fill in the gaps. These brown hoses are micro irrigation lines, so we're just going to leave those as is and plant these new things all in and around them. These lines will be stapled and buried before the end of the day, I promise you. So I'm looking, also, if you guys are in the San Diego area, Waterwise had Echeveria Blue Atoll today. I haven't seen this plant in years. I used to get these in 5-gallon cans at Miramar Wholesale Nursery on Governor Drive, which is now the Village. So the Blue Atoll, in my experience, is tough as nails. It'll take a lot of abuse, a lot of drought. I had some of this in a pot in Baja that the drainage hole got clogged, and it was swimming in water and had been for months.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was still alive.
I worked on that pot.
Yeah, Hannah worked on that pot too. So the Blue Atoll, and it gets rather large, and it pups like an imbricata, but it's a lot tougher than an imbricata. Also, the Echeveria Harmsii ruby slippers at Waterwise are phenomenal right now. Now they are getting ready to bloom. See all this? Those are all going to be little orange flowers. And once the flowers are done, the plant's going to thin out pretty significantly, but keep the faith, because next year it'll be gorgeous once again. Okay. And I'm just going to distress the roots on this by about half, because who wants to dig a hole that deep? Am I right? And then, you might think, if you look at the space right there, oh, there's no room for anything. Yeah, there is.
You can also squeeze the root ball.
Yes, you make the room, because what makes the magic is cramming these plants in really, really tight together like that. Look at that. Now remember, this is tapestry. This is a style of design. This is not showcasing specimens. This is creating a mosaic, a beautiful, colorful, small, succulent plants. So it's a different feel. And what we have in this garden is a couple of areas of tapestry, and the rest of it is primarily specimen. Then we've got this magnificent hillside for you to see later today once we get all the rock staged down there. Just inspiration galore. So we brought in a ton of rubble, and the guys worked that into this downslope. Remember yesterday we took out all kinds of plants and just backfilled this area with beautiful Baja Cresta rubble. Then tomorrow we're going to bring in more of that 1/2-inch basalt rock, which is it's this stuff here, and we're going to top dress and cover all the dirt. So, wow. We also, you may notice, we moved the Mission to Mars mangave out of a pot and into the ground where we think it'll be much happier. Oh my gosh. Okay, so speaking of pots, we are going to top dress these with fire glass. It's going to be the only bling in the garden. The rest will all be the matte basalt rock. But we've got gymnocalacium, agave Victoria variegata, and mammillarias, rainbow cactus. We found a home for one of the aloe ferox over here. We limbed up this Pilosoceras so it looks a lot more balanced. And now Monique and Gordon are creating a little tapestry over here by the Hypertufa ball. This is where the Bracteatus, Catalanthus bracteatus had been here, and we moved it down there, and it just looked a little dry. We needed some fluff. So there's still a few areas where we need some 1.5 foot boulders, but we definitely have this 99% dialed in. I brought a quiche con and a rum runner from home. I've got 3 or 4 new varieties of mangave to put in the garden that hopefully won't get quite as big. Kevin also laced out the Aluaudia procera a bit because some of the branches were running all amok. And oh yes, and here's our experiment. When we come back to do maintenance, we'll check in on this this aloe, tree aloe. I'm not sure what it is. Or is it Barbary, or is it Tonga? I remember when I was new at gardening, I couldn't tell the difference between a queen palm and a king palm. And I feel like that's sort of the issue now for me with these tree aloes. I can't tell. I'll learn. You can learn with me. Mel and Kevin worked out this beautiful tapestry here. These plants were here before. They were just all run amucky. You can kind of see over here some of the dregs that were left. But they tightened this all up and created a really beautiful vignette. You know, we've done some new things in some pots. This area has all been reinvented. We got our Buddha staged. I'm gonna have Greg bring me some decent sized rock. And we've still got a lot of balls too to work back into the garden. So that'll be really, really fun. This pot back here has a pretty significant crack in it, so I'm not sure what our homeowner wants us to do about that. We'll see. Down here, remember yesterday we talked about what a hot mess this was here, so we just dry stacked it to create you know, a little bit of retention and to free the walk path. We've got this passion vine right here, so then we can step down this way. Whoa, that's loose.
That's big.
Okay, here here's my little quiche con that I brought from home. Then I got some beautiful little hybrid aloes to plant underneath this bench. These are going to stay really small and compact and are just the perfect little collectible for our client to enjoy without concern of them getting too big. Here's another perspective. Yeah, how about that color? A couple of those I brought from home from the raised bed. Yeah. Down here, I haven't really done anything in here other than have Gordon plant this Bracteatus. Probably pull some rubble pieces in here to, you know, just kind of finish this, tighten this up. Over here, the guys put in more rubble retention. Remember those 2 Lakeland Terriers? They want to run down the slope, and our owners don't want that, so we tried to create some distractions for them, and this looks so good. Good job, guys. This is the first I'm seeing this. Remember, this was just this vertical drop, and they took and they staged larger pieces of rubble in here, backfilled with soil to give these beautiful Haworthii and Sansevierias something to hang on to. Really, really love that. Yeah, and then here's another perspective of the slope. We've got some Diamondia too that's taken off. Diamondia is kind of persnickety, so Christina's just letting it grow where it wants to. And you can see where it's growing up there on the top too. She had ice plant, pickleweed down here. She had agave attenuatus down here. She had aeoniums en masse down here. This is the fourth and hopefully final iteration down here. And for our collector, I think this is just going to do her really proud. Look at this phenomenal Fred Ives crest. How pretty is that? It just goes on for days, doesn't it? One of you commented it's an embarrassment of riches. You're not wrong, but it's such a celebration and it's just so fabulous. And this is the perfect microclimate for these plants, so why not, right? Yeah, we needed, yeah, I think maybe we need another plant here. Ugh, I'll figure something out. But here's our barrels. Remember, we took all those aloe arborescens out of here. And we're going to bring in, like I said, more rubble. And we're going to shore up here and throw some rubble in amongst the barrels. We capped and cut all the irrigation down here. And these barrels are just going to own this now. And it's such a beautiful frame against the collectible garden up topside. You can see we've got our two Euphorbia millii flanking there. We did dig up those aloe cameronii that were in the big stand. They just looked messy, so Hannah did 1, 2, 3 stands. Those are cuttings. They're going to turn really red for us. All right. And all of the plants are gone. Did I already mention that earlier today? I think I may have mentioned that this morning. But yes, and I finished my little tapestry. Still have to add some rock and maybe a little bit of rubble or some more of her balls. But yeah, this looks really, really tight. And here are these little recalcitrant Lakeland Terriers. Here we are, we brought in extra soil and we're going to smooth that and create just some undulations. Oh, the hunko aloe. Will that work down there at the corner? Yeah, stick that in the ground. Okay. Oh yeah, here's the tap. Here's the tap. All done.
And you planted a sunburst?
Yes, we got a little sunburst in a pot over there. It looks like we have one left in a can that we'll find a home for tomorrow, but everyone is just exhausted. This has been quite a ride these past 3 days, but we will finish this tomorrow. Greg has been going around fixing irrigation and installing more lights all day. Yeah, and then tomorrow we'll bring in a couple yards of basalt and we'll just top dress this thing and it'll look like a shiny new penny. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity reporting from Team DFS in Pacific Beach with day 3 of your succulent renovation and your succulent tip of the day. Bye guys!